Hey there, welcome to the 30-Day Year podcast. We are talking about nervous system regulation and how it's not the only thing that we want to look at when we want to create results and create change. So it's a hot topic, and I know that you have a lot of thoughts on it and you have a perspective on it that's maybe a little bit contrarian to what is out there en masse. And I think that's good. I think it's good to have different perspectives on this conversation because I want to give people the truth. I want to give them like a holistic look at life. And I feel that is something you do super well as a coach, and it's something we're committed to at Conway. We want to give people a holistic look at themselves and not undermine it, because I'm a believer in a lot of things we're going to talk about. But I just think that there's just more to the story in terms of like creating success and doing it in a way that feels relaxed and not stressful, and finding that happy medium, basically. So my first experience with understanding the nervous system was back in 2019. We worked with a couple of guys, Troy and Malcolm from Australia. Shout out Troy and Malcolm. They run a company called Streamline Meditation or Mush and Minds. I think there's two names out there under them. And they're both incredible guys, and they teach meditation. And I was on a call with Troy, and I remember him specifically saying that meditation will refine the nervous system. And for some reason, that line has just stuck with me. I still remember where I was sitting. I remember where I was in my office. I remember seeing him on Zoom, and I heard him say that. And it stuck with me because it felt important. And I'd never thought that I could refine my nervous system before. It had never occurred to me that that is something that you could do. I had previously had like anxiety issues as a young woman, and this was not a conversation that was common back then. And so I'm really happy that it is actually, we do talk about this stuff now, because I think it would have helped me a lot as a young woman as you go through the transitions of life and not knowing why you have weird panic attacks at weddings, right? So different talk show about that. So I remember it was when I was working with him, and you worked with them as well. And I used to kind of like play with what they were teaching us. So there was one day in particular, I'll never forget this day. I got an email and it like stressed me out. I can't even remember what the email was about, who it was from. That's not really what mattered, but it made me feel anxious. I got like instant anxiety from this email. And I was like, you know what? Like there's more going on here. Why don't I just like take 10 minutes and just meditate, take some of the practices that I've been working on with Troy and see what happens. So I took 10 minutes. I followed kind of his directives on my own. And I literally felt the feelings of anxiety like flush out, like literally leave my body. And then I was like, why was I so stressed about that? And then I also found it fascinating that I had the power to control that sensation, that I could take back the control of myself, because I was letting something
or there's an activity that did it, because
yes,
I don't know if it was really you.
Right. That's that's a good point. Very good point. So I felt that very relieved after I did it, and it was a huge like learning moment for me to be like, wow, I can flush these feelings out. I can like get myself back to neutral and then engage in a way that's from a healthy place and not from a place of stress or fear or anxiety. And I remember you telling me a story of a friend you had that was a business owner, and things were not going well for him. And he was just like running high. The cortisol levels were really high. And he shared with you that he was in yoga class like twice a day just to keep himself sane.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he started a new business, and it was kind of like looking back now, it's like, wow, like that's crazy that was even like some kind of pioneering kind of business. He had begun to send people food, letting them do their grocery shopping online.
Right. Yep.
And that's what he was.
Right.
So he bought all this inventory, and he wasn't moving the inventory online. Yeah. And so it was stressing him out. And
like watching it rot.
Yeah. That's watching it rot.
yeah. It's awful. That's like a sickening feeling. Yeah.
So I remember thinking like, whoa, like what? You're like sending people their food online? Like that's crazy. And now that's just like run of the mill now.
Totally.
But yeah, he for his own stress management, because he was so anxiety ridden, he was going to yoga twice a day.
Yeah, just to keep himself like relaxed and neutral.
Yeah. Make sure that you download our free goal setting guide. It walks you through the exact steps I take to set big 30-day year goals. Click the link below, sign up now, and get started.
We encounter stress all the time. Like we've done research on this, that 75% of entrepreneurs suffer with stress in North America. like either chronically
Yeah.
or at some point. Like it's
chronically, like monthly and chronically.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it's very high levels of stress running through our bodies.
Based upon work.
Based upon work. Yes. Yeah. That's the study that we were reading about. And
Yeah.
and so it makes a lot of sense that people are looking for a solution. Who wants to feel stressed? It's terrible, especially in a prolonged state of stress. Like you're going to get sick, things are going to break, like you're going to burn out, like everything negative will come from that. And there's got to be a better way. There has to be a better way. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there just has to be. And this is a gross analogy, but it really does illustrate the point. And I've heard you share it before. And I only feel like I truly understood it in like the last couple of like months.
Oh, okay. How long have I been saying it?
A while.
Like, what's a while?
Years.
Like
multiple years,
yeah,
3-4 years.
Yeah, maybe longer.
And so you say like, I don't understand the stress management industry. People are just like, covered in shit and they're just like rubbing the shit all over themselves and
just
trying to feel better.
it.
Oh, moving it around.
Yeah.
And then you say like, why don't they just get up and take a shower? And for a long time I was like, what does that mean? But now in the lens of stress management and like nervous system regulation, it like clicked for me. I was like, okay, I get it. I get what he's saying. If we're to use your entrepreneur friend as the guinea pig here,
Yeah.
he was using yoga to just kind of move the crap around instead of addressing the fundamental issue, which is kind of what I want to dive into with you next year is like, what was really the issue in that instance? And how could he get up and go take a shower and kind of remove the stress instead of just trying to dissipate it for a while?
Yeah. So what he would do is he'd wake up. Well, he'd go to bed stressed.
Right.
So he would have stressful sleeps.
Yeah.
And then he'd wake up stressed with anxiety. And then he would go to work for a bit. Then he'd go to yoga. And yoga was a bit of his reprieve. But the issue is that after the yoga, he went back into the exact same environment that was causing the stress.
Right.
So then he'd go back in that environment for 4 or 5 hours. And it was a brutal environment to him based on his perception. And then he'd have to go back to yoga. So the issue with it is with the stress management, and I want to be clear here, like I'm not telling people not to do that. If that's where you're at, then do that.
I'm a yogi. I love yoga.
Yeah, like
I love
so
it.
I want to be clear,
Yeah.
like I'm not telling people not to go and take care of themselves in the way that they're aware of.
Yes.
However, when he would leave, he'd go back into the environment. So it was his own environment that was causing the stress. So
That he created.
Yes, that he created.
Right.
So all he was doing was just like moving the poop off his eyes for like an hour so he could see, and then the poop just went right back on. And I've seen this so many times because people they're trying to alleviate, but they're not actually making a decision to change the environment. They're not really getting to the root.
Right.
So they're just managing it. That's what it's called. It's called stress management. So you're managing it.
Yeah.
Well, why not just get rid of it?
Right. Which is very doable, is possible.
Yeah.
Is possible. Yes. And just like before we really dive in, I have a lot of questions ready for you, Dave, about this topic, but a quick just like nervous system breakdown, which I think is helpful because I didn't necessarily know all of this detail as well. And I want to preface that I am not a psychologist. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing some like basic knowledge about the nervous system. And there's way more detail into this, but I'm just going to have the high level summary. So basically when we're in a stressed out state, the amygdala in the brain sends off like an alarm signal. And it activates the sympathetic nervous system, which shifts a person into like fight or flight mode. And this can be good in like short sprints. Like it can actually be a useful thing. Like I remember like when I used to work in a big event, I would definitely be in fight or flight for certain times of the event because it was like 16-hour days and you had to be like ready and alert at any point. So I knew that I was in like a fight or flight zone. But the issue is if we stay in that state for too long, that's really when we can experience burnout and frustration, and you can be very reactive.
Well, you can damage your nervous system through constant exposure.
100%, 100%. And so it's really this like system that we have that is actually to serve us. It's to protect us, right? When we were running away from tigers and lions at some point in history, like, millions of years ago. And now we've evolved into that, but we still have that part of the brain that puts us into that fight or flight mode. And the key is that we want to like reactivate the parasympathetic system. And that's why things like meditation, that's what helped me flush out those feelings of anxiety, is that my fight or flight was kicking in, the fear was kicking in, and I needed to like regulate myself back down to neutral. So physiologically, That's really what's going on. And at a very high level, there's so much more to do that goes into it. So I don't dare to say that I'm an expert. It's just like, this is just kind of like the high level stuff. So as a mindset coach, I want your perspective on these different like modalities, like meditation or visualization or even yoga practice or breath work or all these different things that are available to us. But how does the mind work in tandem with these practices? And just I want your insight on that.
Yeah. So like if you go back to your story of when you received an email and then you got very stressed.
Yes.
And then you meditated and then all of a sudden that stress was no longer there.
No, it was gone.
But the email was still there.
It was still there, but my perspective was so different on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what we need to understand is that you're going to live in two states. You're going to either respond to life or you're going to react to life. Information is coming at us 24/7. Yeah. And we are constantly responding to it based upon our state of mind. When we learn how to meditate, right? And I'm not a meditation instructor. I do recommend it. I've had clients ask me, do you meditate? And I say, yeah, I do meditate. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't understand how someone would live without it, truthfully. I meditate, I pray, and I visualize. And these are all three different ways that you can start to refine that nervous system so that your thinking becomes more accurate.
Yes.
Right? So you're not as reactive to life. I used to be a very reactive person. Right. People that are angry are reacting to life. Like you could be driving down the road and, someone drives by and swearing at you. Or you could be driving down the road and you drive by someone and swearing at them.
Right.
So you're reacting to life. Life is happening all the time, but you're reacting to it. So it's constantly getting under your skin. You're irritable. Mm-hmm. When you start to refine that nervous system, you don't react as much to it. However, in the case of my friend that was just trying to survive, if you're meditating to survive or you're doing stress management just to survive, I strongly recommend that start introducing the concept of a goal. Start to reimagine that there is a world in which you can live, that there is a version of you in which you can manifest that is living a certain way without all of this stress. If we keep being stressed and then go back or detoxing from the stress and going back into it, detox and going back into it, is like I like to do a thing called the master cleanse. And you detox the body. Mm-hmm. But then the issue is that in time, I kind of just
retox it.
Yeah, I retoxify it, right? Like, so that is a very interesting cycle that human beings live on. So what we want to grasp is that when you start refining your nervous system through meditation, visualization, even prayer, study does it too. That's another mode you can do. Start to study, start to read a little more. Mm-hmm. Get off your phone, truthfully, really start cutting that thing down. It's insane what it's doing to people. But don't just do it to detox from the world that you've created. Start to reimagine, introduce the imagination, introduce fantasy, introduce a new version of yourself into the meditation, because as you do that, those ideas will start to impress. So when I meditate, why do I meditate? So I can refine my nervous system so I can start to accept bigger concepts instead of constantly being dragged into the reality of life itself. And the world is very disorderly. And your mind is like a sponge. So when you start, your mind sucks up your environment. And if it's disorderly, you will suck up the disorder. Mm. So don't just keep going away and detoxing and then coming back.
Right.
Create an environment for yourself that is orderly, that isn't as toxic. Do both. Don't go and meditate and then go back and just business as usual. I've met people that visualize, that they're like, well, I've been visualizing for like 10 years and it doesn't work. Yeah, well, that's because you visualize and then you just go right back to your old behavior.
There's nothing to anchor the new world to. So to your point about the goal setting or the identity piece, like for me, it feels like a big identity thing. Because like, I'm sure your friend had some type of goal, like financial goal, maybe not, but maybe he had some type of target, but it was the identity that was holding him, keeping him stuck.
That's right.
And couldn't like break through that. And you see it, you do see it. You see it in yourself, or you've seen it in your past selves, or you see it in just people around or in clients as well, when it's like, when are they getting stuck? It's like, well, the identity isn't quite defined, so they can't live into it.
Yeah, because people don't know this. Most people are so uneducated around this awareness. The human being is programmed to evolve.
Yeah.
So every human being on the planet all feel that they could be doing better, that there's something more for them, that they need to improve.
Yeah.
This is constantly there. Like, who here feels like they're destined for more? Every person I've ever asked that question to has said yes. I've seen hands raised. Of course you can get better. So if that feeling is always, that's like the cosmos, that's like your higher self trying to get out, right? It's like Agent Smith in The Matrix. I'm just trying to get out. Like, it's trying to express itself. It's evolving. We are under the same rules as every other thing in this cosmos. So if you are not changing, if you're not a goal setter, if you're not expressing that evolution of yourself, then you have disorder in your reality, and then you go off and try and create order. You come back into disorder. You need to start to introduce goal setting into your meditation practice.
So I don't know if I've heard you say it quite like this before, but you see the goal setting as the way to create internal order.
Yes.
And then the identity is kind of like the complement to that. Like, the goal is the target, the identity is the person that lives that goal, and that creates the internal environment.
Like, let's say I'm going to meditate, and what am I really doing?
Tell me.
Right? Like, what am I really doing?
Can I answer that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, again, I'm not a meditation expert or teacher, but just through the training I've gone through and the practice of myself, certainly a byproduct of the practice is a refined nervous system and a more relaxed mind, a calmer body, a calmer mind. But really, you're touching this deeply spiritual part of yourself that's always there, that we forget about and that we ignore. And it's this like quietness. And I feel like this is my interpretation, but it's like very much connected to like my intuition. Like, I feel like it's actually spending time with my intuitive faculty. And then, well, what is that? Well, I think that's my higher power. That's like a higher self, a higher energy, right? God. Like, it's something else coming in, because the law of polarity is at work all the time in our lives. If there's a chaotic mind, there's a calm mind. If there's a calm mind, there's a chaotic mind. And there's a polarity all the time. So that also freed me to understand that law of polarity and how it works in me. So if I am in that state, I get the email, like spikes. Now I know that, okay, well, if I'm in a heightened state and I feel anxiety, I know that I can find a calm state. So how can I find that calm state? Well, it can be through meditation. But I think the real goal is to not even spike to begin with. So hence the idea of refining the nervous system, so that when those things do come in, oh, my brain hasn't forgotten that, I can be calm when things come at me. I can stay calm.
Yeah.
So training myself to stay calm is the real challenge.
So when we meditate, like, why do I meditate? Why do we meditate? Well, I meditate because I'm looking for that higher energy to communicate to me and through me.
Yeah.
So when I meditate, I'm looking for guidance. I'm trying to clear the mind of all the junk so I can interpret my role in life better. I can interpret reality better, myself, my job, what I'm meant to do, and then life itself. So we go to this place where we receive order. That's all that's happening. So the world is disorder. Like, the world is chaos. But that spirit is pure order. It's like bliss.
Calmness of mind is the
beautiful jewel of wisdom. So as that energy comes in, we're listening. Mm-hmm. What should I be doing? And if you listen, if you can quiet the mind enough and you can listen to that inside world, then you're going to be able to introduce new ideas into your reality.
Yes. Your perception can change.
Yes. And you can start to move and become a quite phenomenal goal setter. Mm-hmm. When I first started to meditate, after about 30 days, this is the truth, I actually stopped because the good life was coming in so fast, I could barely manage it. So many clients were flooding in, couldn't even keep up to it. So I pulled back from the meditation, which is a mistake because I forgot that, well, if I went back to the meditation would continue to move that. But so much, what was that? It was because my consciousness was more in harmony. It was more in attune with the non-visible parts of life. So we meditate to receive.
Receive calmness.
Receive calmness and receive thought itself. We can receive better
Receive
thoughts.
ideas at a
right?
higher level. Yeah.
Right. So like as you receive, then you want to distribute. But if I go and receive for 20 minutes in a day, and then I go out and I just business as usual, so I'm just trying to escape. I'm using this to escape. Then I'm just moving the poop around. If you listen close enough, you'll find that meditation and then the introduction of visualization will start to bring whole new thoughts right into your world. And you can literally create a world in which you don't even have to react to.
That's interesting. Interesting thought.
Right? So you're just this nice flow. You're this flow of energy from the higher self. You're introducing more of that higher self into your world. As that higher self comes into the world, you're going to find that more of that becomes displayed in your world. And you'll have less and less and less things that you have to react to that cause stress itself.
Right. So it's all starting with the mental alignment.
Well, for today's podcast, we can call it mental alignment.
What would you call it?
I would call it spiritual alignment.
Spiritual alignment. Yeah.
The spirit expresses through the mind. It goes spirit, mind, emotion, which is mind, physical, material world. Everything comes from the same place. Like, have you noticed that there's people in your life that just are drama queens? Like, they always attract drama?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're addicted to it. Without it, who even would they be?
It's incredible how that just becomes a habit, right? Like you make the either the attraction or the seeking of, it just becomes this habit, that habitual thing. And then if something's a habit, that means it's just automatically running. So it's tough to break.
So you can literally fall into the habit of going to the yoga or going meditation twice a day and then going right back. That's a habit in itself. Well, what if you're in the habit of going into meditation, and then when you went into it, it was to break up your habit nature, break up your thinking, clear the thinking, get more in aligned thinking,
right?
More in an attuned emotional state.
Yeah.
So that you can introduce more of that into your life instead of using it as a tool just to manage your current life.
Right.
The same tool that you're using to manage your current life, your stress management, is the exact same tool with the right thinking that can literally reinvent your entire life.
Right.
If you're loving this content, hit the like and subscribe button and help us get this 30-day year message out.
So it's like the intention behind the action is kind of what you're speaking to. It's like if I'm engaging in these kind of nervous system practices just to keep myself from going crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I'm ever going to get from it. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. Like,
and then
exactly,
coming at it from a different place.
Yeah. Like, always
the
laugh. Like if I was like a yogi, which I'm not, but if I was
You're a yogi. I'll give you yogi status. You can hold your own in a flow class. Like you're not like expert, but you can down dog, you can flow.
Okay. All right, Jack. Then yeah. So
I don't think the yogis are into like
I'm the laughing yogi.
Yeah, you're always making me laugh. You're like definitely disrupting the like kind of like Zen vibes a little bit.
Zen vibes? You think there's Zen vibes in there? There's no Zen vibes in there. They're freaking wound tight as a drum, man.
Yeah, some people are for sure.
Like I have never seen so many tight faces than in a yoga class.
Yeah. I mean, I don't look at anyone. I'm very much in my own world. So I haven't looked around much. But also I don't wear my glasses, so I'm kind of blind. So I can't, even if I was looking around.
They're obsessed with the posing and stuff instead of just that flowing out. And they're trying to get rid of something all the time.
Yeah.
And hey, I get it. Life is stressful. Life is chaotic.
Yeah.
So we do need that place to go. You know, I said I wouldn't go here on this podcast, but I am going to go here.
Yeah, of course. Where else are you going to go?
We are so unfamiliar with the power that's inside of ourselves to overcome any circumstance or situation, most of the people in the world don't grasp that or even have practices that help them in life. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to get way worse because now people aren't going to their inner self. Well, not many were to begin with, but even less are going to be going there now because everyone just goes to ChatGPT for all the answers now.
Right.
Who has the habit of going inside, calming their mind, listening to that higher self instead of just going on a computer and typing it in? And it does not change the way you feel. Pay attention to that. You do not feel any better.
It's true.
And how you feel is controlling your perception. If you feel lack, you will attract more lack and you will never get out of it. So everyone's trying to get.
Right.
Not stopping and realizing they already have everything. It's inside. They just have to learn how to express it.
That's a really interesting point you made.
It's going to get real bad.
I have my fears about it too, but I don't want to dive into AI or concerns. I don't want to dive into AI super hardcore today, but I do know what you're saying about, like, yes, if you do ask AI even simple questions or ask for advice about something, it's right. It doesn't change the way you feel.
No.
It really doesn't.
So you find, honestly, check it out, folks.
'Cause I have-
Are your results changing? And you're going to find they're not.
Right. Are they were changing from what?
From whatever your problems you're trying to solve.
Right. Whatever actions you're taking to try to solve your problems.
That's right.
Yes. If we're over relying on yoga class to feel relaxed, if we're over relying on AI to solve potential problems we see in our businesses, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are we over relying on the wrong systems, the wrong things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is your income changing?
I have a question for you. And like, I hope it's not a silly question, but do you think it's truly possible to change your thinking process?
Yes.
You don't think that old habits die hard and it's like tough to really reprogram? Like, what do you think?
It's the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life.
But you can change it. And, you know, it's true. I have experienced that in my life. But every now and then it's like, oh man, that's an old thinking pattern. Damn, I haven't thought like that in a while. I can't believe that's still there.
Yeah.
See, those moments always shock me a little bit when I'm like, oh, that feels like something I would have come up with like 8 years ago. And then I start to like question myself, like, oof, like, where's that coming from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're like,
Paradigm.
is that coming? That's not coming from the goal, is it? Or where's that coming from?
Paradigm.
It's maybe not a bad thought. It's not like negative or like, you know, constrictive, but it's just old. You know what I
Paradigm.
mean?
Well, if it's old, it probably is restrictive,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
But
Like,
yeah, do you ever feel that? Does that ever happen to you? Where you're like, oh man, that's old. Haven't thought that in a long time, or haven't like considered that in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you are a person that's changed their paradigm, but I don't think everything has a residue.
Yes.
Right?
Residue.
Like, you know, those guys, there's those couple scientists that had those big satellite dishes and they were pointing out at the space, and I forget exactly what they were looking for, but they kept getting this background noise, like a background frequency was always in there.
Okay.
So at first they thought it was dirt, like, and pigeon poop,
like
birds.
on the satellite.
Yeah, and one of those big old school ones,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And they would go up there and they'd clean it, and then they'd come back down, still there.
Still there.
Yeah,
Interesting.
and what they discovered was that it was actually the Big Bang, the original cosmic.
Wow.
Still, they were picking it up.
Like
they were
vibrations from the
yeah,
Big Bang.
Yeah, the original.
How did they figure that out? I mean, I don't know if you know that, but
That's a great question. I
that's
don't have the
interesting.
answer to that.
Do you know the name of the scientist? Do you remember the name of the scientist? Sorry to like grill you on that.
No, sorry, Jack. I used to because I used
gonna
to
look
talk
this up
about
later.
them. Yeah, and so it's the cosmic background. Like, they picked up the original
That's
frequency.
old.
Well, everything has residue, so nothing is ever gone. Same with the paradigm. Like,
When
you
you
can
say-
mitigate it. You can alter your thinking. You can alter your state of mind for sure.
Yep.
But in your weakest points, you'll find that you have a tendency to relapse.
Right. So when you say residue, you really mean like vibration.
Yeah, old vibrations.
Old vibrations.
Yeah. And then there's a power that can get rid of those, though.
Help you, like, does it get rid of them though? Or does it just sort of
It'll
dull
give you,
them?
this is the whole point of grace.
Yeah. Protects you from the old
Well, you
energy.
get
almost.
relief.
You get relief.
Grace is relief from the thing that's tormenting you,
The thing that's tormenting you.
which is mental.
Which is, yeah. Oh my God. That's crazy. So, do you think nervous system regulation just turns into avoidance for most of us? Just avoiding the truth?
I don't want to go too hard. I do go hard on people, maybe too much, but I don't want to go too hard on people. I want to have compassion. So the problem that we have is always ignorance. It always has been and always will be. So I think people are doing the best they can with what they know. The problem is they're not really into knowing more about the things that actually move the needle. So there's the same power that brought you into this world is the exact same power that'll reinvent the world that you're in. There's only one power.
Very interesting stuff here. So what would you say is sort of like the mindset to adopt when it comes to this whole concept?
So if you're not a meditator, think about it. You know, those guys, Malcolm and Troy, are absolutely incredible. Mush and Mind, Streamlined Meditation out of Australia. If you're not a meditator, I strongly encourage them.
I have his book right behind you.
Oh, where? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, you could shout out Malcolm right there.
Yeah, there
Malcolm
you go.
Fletcher.
It's a beautiful book. It's his story. It's unreal. So anyway, there's his book.
Yeah, just
Okay.
That was not planned, by the way. That was just
Yeah, there you go. So there's Malcolm's book.
Yep.
Pick it up. It's pretty beautiful. And if you're not one, then, you know, look into it. It's very boring. That's why people don't do it, because what are you going to do? Sit there and be like, well, what's meant to happen? You know, well, I could just look at a phone instead, and that's, I guess, making me feel better, which is not. So the meditation, if you're not into meditation, maybe think about it or look into it. If you are a meditator, but you're not, you're falling into the trap of the stress management, so you're trying to escape your life through meditation, start to think about maybe introducing a little visualization or goal setting or reinvention. So start to have both together, right? So you can refine the nervous system and you can use it to actually become a goal achieving person, reinvent your life, like set a 30-day goal, right? Start to bring it in, not just to go and survive or out of duty or habit, start to reinvent yourself. And then if you're a hard charger, goal achiever, then this will be very difficult for you. Become a meditator.
Yeah.
Like Ray Dalio is a meditator. Jerry Seinfeld's a meditator. David Lynch is a meditator. Like, they haven't done too bad.
That's true. And then I think study as well. Like you talk a lot about study as a way to find this like understanding. And I think that is an important layer. And I have As a Man Thinketh. And I thought, could you read part of Serenity?
Sure.
Because I think that actually ties in really good. And I like literally pulled this
that.
book out. I just found it on a shelf in our house like yesterday, just feeling like I should have it ready for today. Not
Which
sure
one?
why.
I have these things everywhere. Even when guests come to our house, this is on their side table.
I know. I stole it from Wendy's room. Like we have a room at Wendy's stays in when she's here. And I was like, oh, I feel like that's my book. And I stole it back. So I feel like why I specifically pick out this book and this essay, because, well, Serenity is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom, but he puts it so beautifully. And it really is this reminder that there is a place inside that you can find. And I love your perspective that it's all about the intention with which you place on those practices that can totally change what you're doing and how it therefore turns your life around. Like instead of, again, rubbing the poop around, just take a shower. And I think that this has been really enlightening for me personally, but the intention behind it is what will do it. So
you want me to read a bit of this?
Yeah, read a bit of it.
Beautiful. So this comes from As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And the essay is called Serenity, so you should definitely go pick it up. Serenity. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self-control. Its presence is an indication of ripened experience and of a more than ordinary knowledge of the laws and operation of thought, how thought moves. So something we want to grasp is that this whole universe operates by law. Therefore, if thought is in the universe, it too must be under the rule of law. Thought moves in a certain way. This is important. A person becomes calm in the measure that they understand themselves as a thought-evolved being. For such knowledge necessitates the understanding of others as the result of thought. And as they develop a right understanding and see more and more clearly the internal relations of things by the action of cause and effect, they cease to fuss and fume and worry and grieve and remain poised, steadfast, serene. The calm person, having learned how to govern themselves, knows how to adapt themselves to others, and they in turn reverence their spiritual strength, and they feel they can learn from them and rely upon them. The more tranquil a person becomes, the greater is their success, their influence, their power for good. Even the ordinary trader will find their business prosperity increase as they develop a greater self-control and equanimity. For people always prefer to deal with a person whose demeanor is strongly equable.
Amazing. There's so many nuggets in there. I jotted down so many things. But I think as we kind of close this episode, I really am locked on to this like awareness around just set the intention behind the things you are doing. So if you're a meditator, just come at it from a slightly different perspective. If you're a visualizer, if you're doing breath work, if you're doing any of these kinds of things to refine your nervous system, which I 100% feel like everybody should be doing, and even myself more so, but I've definitely invested in those practices and they've paid so much to me, just in tranquility and calm and just being able to reset myself if things do stress me out. Like that is an incredible skill to have. So keep doing it, just do it with a different intention. If this podcast is opening your eyes to powerful new ideas, helping you think bigger and opening your level of awareness, be sure to hit subscribe right now and leave us a 5-star review. That will help us reach more ambitious people just like you ready to grow.